What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're doing another transfer update. Yes, it's that season again, daily Manchester City transfer update. So make sure if you're enjoying the content and you want to help support my channel, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Don't forget, we're aiming for 9,000 subscribers, so any help towards that goal would be much appreciated. At the time of recording this video, we are now less than 300 subscribers away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also, you can find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. You can also find my email in the description below too if you're going to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And also, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. We're aiming for 500 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. And also, leave your thoughts in the comments below with what you make of these transfers, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say. Now, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the latest JSGC member, Nerdy TV. Thank you very much for joining the JSGC membership. If you want to join the JSGC membership and get a shout out on a video and also lots of other perks too, then all you need to do is press the join button, which you can find next to the subscribe button on my channel, and you can join there. I also have done a video there where you can go and check out all the latest perks that you can get when you join the JSGC membership. So, without further ado, we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the outs first, and we've got an update on David Silva. Now, AS in Spain, they've been reporting that Lazio are now the latest in a string of clubs that are being linked with David Silva, and apparently, I found this interesting, that David Silva has apparently had dinner with the president of the Italian club as well. So I think a move to Lazio in the Serie A would be a really good move for David Silva, in my opinion. He's of course been linked to moves in Japan. He's been linked to moves in the Middle East. He's been linked to moves in Spain. He's also been linked to moves now in Italy. Of course, he's been linked with moves to America as well. So David Silva getting linked with here, there, and everywhere. Crazy. David Silva still hasn't decided on his future and what is going to happen for his next club. One thing I am certain of is that he'll be leaving Manchester City. I was umming and ahhing as to whether he would maybe sign a one-year contract extension, but considering the big deal that's been made by Manchester City over David Silva, I'm going to presume that it is going to be David Silva's last season in a Manchester City shirt. We still get to see him in the Champions League though, so looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to be very sad though when he does leave Manchester City, but I am intrigued as to where he is going to end up next. So let me know in the comments below where you think David Silva may end up. Now, we've got a further development from yesterday. Fisayo Dele-Bashiru, he is now signed for Sheffield Wednesday on a permanent basis for an undisclosed fee. So I wanted to wish the best of luck to Fisayo on his move across the Pennines to go and join Sheffield Wednesday, going to a cracking club in a cracking league, and I'm wishing him all the very best on his move. So we're going to move on to the ins, and we've got an update on Kalidou Koulibaly. More importantly, it's an update on the stalemate that we have got. Now, Sky Sports in Italy are saying that Manchester City are not willing to go any higher than 65 million euro for Kalidou Koulibaly. We know City are willing to pay 60 million pounds. This is nothing new to us. This offer, Napoli will not accept it. Again, this is nothing new to us. They're only going to listen to offers of between 75 to 80 million euros. So that's an increase of around 10 to 15 million euro on what Manchester City are willing to pay. So roughly with the numbers that we're talking, if I'm going to translate it into pounds, City are willing to pay around 60 million pounds. Napoli are looking for somewhere between 70 to 75 million pounds. So we're talking 10, 15 million pounds. This is where the stalemate is. And in my opinion, this can be broken down in one of two ways for Manchester City to sign Kalidou Koulibaly. If they don't do one of these two things, then City, in my opinion, will just have to move on and go and look at alternatives, and they do have contingencies out there in the form of Milan Skriniar that's been mentioned. Diego Carlos of Sevilla has also been mentioned. But the two ways City could do about this, firstly, player swap. They could offer a player. Nicolas Otamendi would be one that would make logical sense that City are trying to move on. So offering Napoli 50 to 60 million pound plus Nicolas Otamendi could break the stalemate. It allows Napoli to replace Koulibaly without spending any money and getting 50 to 60 million pounds, which allows them to pay for the striker that they just signed in Osimhen from Lille. So it ticks two boxes basically for Napoli, whilst Manchester City get a top-class centre-back in Kalidou Koulibaly. I'm not too sure though that Napoli would accept this. I'm almost certain that Napoli will want to find and identify their own centre-back rather than taking what Napoli would call Manchester City's hand-me-downs. And so the other way around this for Manchester City would be to offer around 60 to 65 million pound cash, and then work out the rest of the fee of around 5 to 10 million pound in add-ons is what Manchester City could do. I'm surprised that City haven't had a look at this. The indication I'm getting is City are very reluctant here to go into negotiations with Napoli. They're very reluctant to go and speak to Napoli's president. To put it straight, Manchester City simply do not trust him and don't particularly like him. They don't like how the Jorginho saga went a few years ago. They didn't like that Napoli had given City a fee. City were willing to pay that fee. Napoli just dragged it on and on and on, waiting for their manager Sarri to join Chelsea. When he joined Chelsea, Chelsea had put in a bid to Napoli for just a couple of £1 million more than City were willing to pay, and then ended up accepting that offer. And basically, it's Napoli's way of just trying to get just that little bit more from a club. Now, if City had offered a little bit more than Chelsea, then they'd have accepted that. They accepted Chelsea's offer basically because Manchester City simply wouldn't go into a transfer battle and wouldn't offer a little bit more. Whilst there's no interest in Koulibaly from other than Manchester City, City will just carry on this stalemate until it gets to a point where Napoli will either sell or keep. Not too sure when we'd get to that, but I imagine that would be a lot later into the window. And like I said, a breakthrough could come if City are willing to offer that £60 million up front and give £10-15 million in add-ons, which I imagine if the add-ons, it would be done in terms of appearance-based and success-based. So if he makes 50 appearances for Manchester City, if he wins the Champions League, you get a few million here, a few million there, is how I imagine the deal would be done like that. One thing I would say is, I feel like this transfer would be a little bit easier if City didn't drag it on, and basically City spoke to Napoli and said, this is what we're willing to offer, we can go up to here, we're not going to go anymore, are you going to accept it? Yes or no? Napoli will either say yes or no, more than likely they'll say no, and if they say no, City have their answer, and then instead of being strung along, we can just simply move on and identify another centre-back target, because we've not got a lot of time. We've got the Champions League coming up as of next week. If we progress against Real Madrid, then our campaign could go well into the middle towards the end of August. The Premier League have announced that City are going to get 30 days, so we've got 30 days basically to get our business done before the season starts for us, and once the season starts, I couldn't imagine City doing any business. So we're talking at best 4 to 5 weeks here for City to get 3 signings is what I reckon City will be looking for. So we're going to have to be quick. While City are dragging it on, I just feel like it's going to become more and more unlikely. And whilst I like Nathan Ake, I think he'd be a good player, he's certainly not the answer that we're looking for a long-term partner for Aymeric Laporte. So we'll see what happens here. Vintage Manchester City in the transfer market, vintage Napoli in the transfer market. So we're going to move on to our final story. And we've got a breakthrough, we've got a big story here with Diego Rosa. Now, the Gremio 17-year-old, he has had his medical now at Manchester City. He will sign a 5-year contract. This is according to Sports Witness. Importantly, this is the first time we have had a source speak about Diego Rosa joining Manchester City that hasn't come from Brazil and hasn't come from Globo Esporte. So it's backing up what they have been reporting, and it's seeming like it is going to be true. Now, the fee that was mentioned was €10 million, which is 1 million more than what Globo Esporte had reported, but both sources have agreed that the deal will rise to €24 million, which will be based on appearances, and should he be registered as a Premier League player in the Manchester City first team squad. Now, Diego Rosa, when he joins Manchester City, he will join in the winter, so it will be a pre-agreement put in place between Manchester City and Gremio for the signing of Diego Rosa, where he will come to Manchester City in January. The Brazilian season ends between the summer and the winter months in England. Once that's been completed, he'll then come over to Manchester City. He'll be 18 by the time that's happened, by the way. He turns 18 in October. It'll be a professional contract, and he'll join up with the Manchester City squad. I'm wondering now, will he go straight into the Manchester City first team squad and working with the first team players? Will he go into the academy, or will he be loaned out? I'm not sure. I'll wait for further developments on that. It seems though with Diego Rosa, we're at the little part now just before Manchester City announced the transfer. So we're really close now to making our first signing, which will be Diego Rosa, a pre-agreement transfer for him to come to Manchester City in the winter. We'll still be waiting for our first transfer of the summer that can play for Manchester City once the new season, 2020-21 season, does start. My opinion, I reckon that will be Ferran Torres, who we haven't got an update on in this video. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Aiming for 500 likes, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. Don't forget also, leave your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with these transfers. Subscribe if you're new around here, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window. Stay tuned for that. You can also find my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and search for me, and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Become a JSGC member too if you so wish, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you for watching. I've been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.